The following is a slightly historical series on the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era of China's history. Because this is based off of a video game, and myself playing it, there will be a lot of incorrect information that we will correct using the help of Wikipedia. For those of you who want to learn more about Dynasty Warriors, or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms era, I suggest reading the book. Please enjoy the following presentation. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about Liu Bei.
Liu Bei. Liu Bei.
Sounds like you're saying Liu Bei. Liu Bei. Courtesy name Zhuan De was born in the year 161. According to 3rd century historical text records of the Three Kingdoms, Liu Bei was born in Zhuo County, Zhuo Commandery. He was a descendant of Liu Shang, who was the 9th son of Emperor Jing and the first king of the Zhongshan Han dynasty. However, Pei Zongxi's 5th century commentary, based on the Dian Lue, said that Liu Bei was a descendant of the Marquis of Lin Yi, and that was held by Liu Fu, and later by Liu Fu's son Liu Tao Tu, who were descendants of Liu Fa, the King Ding of Changsha, and another son of Emperor Jing, and Liu Rong, a descendant of Liu Shun, King Jian of Changshan, yet another son of Emperor Jing. It's possible that Liu Bei descended from either of those two patrilineal lines rather than Liu Shang's line. Liu Bei's grandfather Liu Xiong and father Liu Hong both served in provincial and commandery offices. Liu Bei's grandfather Liu Xiong did well and was recommended as a candidate for civil office in the Xiaolian process. Then he rose to become a prefect of Fan in Dong Commandery. Let me take another bite of my conchas. However, Liu Bei's father Liu Hong didn't live long, and Liu Bei grew up in a poor family, having lost his father when he was still a child. Moreover, even if Liu Bei's claim to royal lineage was genuine, he did not derive much wealth from his royal ancestors, since the Han law decrees that each generation of royals must divide their inheritance among all male children, and Liu Bei's generation was far too removed from his illustrious ancestors. As such, Liu Bei was not considered different from normal people. To support themselves, Liu Bei and his mother sold shoes and straw-woven mats. Despite this, Liu Bei was full of ambition from childhood. In the southeast of his house, there was a mulberry tree that was very tall. When looked from far away, the tree's shade was similar to a small cart. Therefore, people from all around the village felt that this tree was unique, with some saying that the house would produce a person of nobility. A fortune teller named Li Ding of Zhuo stated, "This family will certainly produce an estimable man." When he was a kid, Liu Bei would play beneath the tree with other children from the village. He would often say, "I must ride in this feather-covered chariot." Liu Bei's uncle, Xi Jing, thought of Liu Bei's dream as foolish and that he would bring destruction to the house. In 175, when Liu Bei was 14, his mother sent him to study with Liu Ji, a distinguished man and former Grand Administrator of Jiujiang Commandery. Liu Ji was from Zhuo Commandery, the same as Liu Bei. One of his fellow students was Gongsun Zan of Liaodong, with whom he became friends. Since Gongsun Zan was older, Liu Bei treated him as an elder brother. Another fellow student was his kinsman Liu Deran. Liu Deran's father, Yuan Shao, often gave Liu Bei material support to help him and his mother and treated him the same as his son, Liu Deran. Yuan Shi's wife wasn't happy about this and told him each has his own family. How can you regularly do this? Yuan Shi answered, "This boy is in our clan, and he is an extraordinary person." The adolescent Liu Bei was said to be unenthusiastic in studying. However, he was fond of dogs and horses. He also displayed interest in hunting, music, and dressing in fine clothing. He enjoyed associating with braves, haojia, and in his youth, he fought and hung out with them. He would not manifest his anger or happiness and always showed a pleasant face in front of others. Liu Bei was charismatic, and all the heroic youth bonded with him. Around this time, two great horse merchants from Zhongshan, Zhang Xiping and Su Shuang, were very wealthy and had riches of several thousands in gold. They sold horses when they passed through Zhuo Commandery. They met Liu Bei and were struck by his appearance and personality, so they gifted him much money and wealth. Thanks to their assistance, Liu Bei was able to assemble a large group of followers. At the end of the reign of Emperor Ling, the Yellow Turbans rose up and started the Yellow Turban Rebellion. Every province and commandery would call for righteous men to defend the country. Liu Bei saw what was happening and became much more politically aware. He called for the assembly of a militia to help government forces suppress the rebellion and rallied a group of loyal followers, including among them Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Jiang Yong. This is where it will pick up in the storyline, and I should mention, the oath underneath the peach tree is a complete fabrication. It is the first chapter of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms novel, and it basically starts out with Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei all under a peach tree. When saying the names Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei, although the surnames are different, yet we have come together as brothers. From this day forward, we shall join forces for a common purpose, to save the troubled and to aid the endangered. We shall avenge the nation above and pacify the citizenry below. We seek not to be born on the same day, in the same month, and in the same year. We merely hope to die on the same day, in the same month, and in the same year. May the gods of heaven and earth attest to what is in our hearts. If we should ever do anything to betray our friendship, may heaven and the people of the earth both strike us dead.
To have devotion on our plates and blossoms in our cups. What a feast!
From this day forth, may our noble ambitions spread to the far reaches of the land.
Agreed. Guan Yu, Zhang Fei. From this day, we shall fight as brothers and end the chaos. I am Liu Bei, descendant of Liu Sheng, Prince of Zhongshan. With my two sworn brothers, I have pledged to bring order to this chaotic world.
After the oath, Liu Bei was declared the eldest brother, followed by Guan Yu and Zhang Fei as the most junior. Liu Bei ordered a craftsman to forge a pair of swords, Guan Yu the green dragon crescent blade, and Zhang Fei a 1.8 zhang snake lance. They recruited 500 volunteers to fight under the governor's command and repelled the advancing rebels, in what became the first battle of the brothers' long journey to pacify the nation. Liu Bei, or I'll get to that in a second.
As I speak, the land is suffering from an insurgency led by Zhang Jiao, known as the Yellow Turbans. I have taken rank in an army that will fight these traitors. My goal is to defeat all evildoers and restore the Great Han Empire. This is the path I have chosen, and I will stop at nothing to return virtue to this land.
Liu Bei led his militia to join the local government forces led by Colonel Zhou Jing and participated in battles against the rebels with distinction. Around this time, Liu Ziping of Pingyuan heard of Liu Bei's reputation as a brave man, and when Zhang Chun rebelled, the Jing province was ordered by imperial decree to send an attendant official to lead an army to defeat Zhang Chun. As they passed through Pingyuan, Ziping recommended Liu Bei to the attendant official. Liu Bei accepted and joined him. When they met the rebels in the landscape, that is a period. That is not a comma. When they met the rebels in the landscape, Liu Bei was gravely wounded and had to fake death. After the rebels left, a friend of him loaded into a cart and carried him away. Thus he was able to escape. In recognition of his contributions, the Han central government appointed Liu Bei as the prefect of Anji County.
I am He Jin. I
I will be commanding the army for the battle against the Yellow Turbans. Those of you who have come to fight on behalf of the Han, the gratitude of your emperor is with you.
Later, the Han central government decreed that any official who had gained the post as a reward for military contributions was to be dismissed, and an inspector was sent to Liu Bei's prefecture. Liu Bei doubted that he would be among those to be dismissed. Therefore, when he saw the inspector and recognized him, he wanted to meet him. However, the inspector refused to see him and claimed illness. Liu Bei was furious. He returned to his office, led clerks and soldiers to the postal relay station, and forced his entry through the door. He said, "I have been secretly instructed by the commandery administrator to arrest the inspector." Thereupon, tied the inspector and led him to the outskirts of the district. Then he bound him to a tree, undid his ribbon of office, and tied it to the inspector's neck, and gave him more than 100 strokes with a bamboo stave. Liu Bei wanted to kill him, however the inspector begged him for mercy, and so he didn't. After this incident, he left office. Wow, great guy, full of virtue, tying a dude to a tree and beating the shit out of him with a bamboo stick. He then traveled south with his followers to join another militia. Around this time, the general-in-chief He Jian sent the chief commandant Guan Yu to Danyang with the mission to recruit soldiers, and Liu Bei joined him in fighting the Yellow Turbans. When they reached Jiapi, they met the rebel army, and Liu Bei fought hard with talent. As a reward for his contributions, the Han central government appointed him as the prefect and commandant of Gaotang County.
We are now heading to Ji to take out Zhang Jiao, the leader of the Yellow Turbans, who is holed up in their main base. It is said that Zhang Jiao and his brothers can control the elements. Therefore, if we take his brothers out, things should be a little easier. All right, prepare to go to battle. For the glory of the Han!
What is it, brother?
These people, before they were simply suffering like everybody else. It makes me think.
In that case, you simply need to create a world where people do not suffer.
You are absolutely right, Zhang Fei. My brothers, let us go.
The bandit leader, Zhang Jiao, has been defeated, along with his lies. Without him, the Yellow Turbans are finished. As commander, I would like to thank you all for your service. I want all of you to return to your homes and continue to loyally serve the Han. We must ensure that the land never again sees such chaos.
We are about to attack Huluo Gate in our quest to overthrow the villain Dong Zhuo. Lu Bu, an extremely fierce warrior, will surely be waiting for us there.
Liu Bei visited the capital during the last years of the Emperor Ling of Han. Later, along with Cao Cao, they returned to the state of Pei and gathered many people. When Emperor Ling died, the land fell into chaos, and Liu Bei raised an army and joined the campaign against Dong Zhuo. Later, when he returned to Gaotang County, the commandery was overwhelmed by rebels and he opted to move north to join an old friend, the warlord Gongsun Zan. In 191, they scored a major victory against another warlord, Yuan Shao, leader of the former alliance against Dong Zhuo, so I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
Though Guan Yu or Zhang Fei might have a chance against him, my skill is likely no match for Lu Bu. I would do best to avoid him and find another way. After all, the real enemy is Dong Zhuo. As a relative of the Han, I cannot forgive him for his crimes. The honor of taking his head shall be mine.
This villain pretends to serve the Emperor, but only serves himself. He shall pay with his life. But everybody follow me, and we shall reclaim the capital. The Han must be returned to its former glory.
You are a traitor to the Han. I shall defeat you.
Ha! You are all talk and no action.
Lord Liu Bei is a man of justice. and has 2 swords at his side to prove it.
An enemy of my brother's is an enemy of mine. Prepare yourself.
So in the novelization, in the book The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the 3 sworn brothers did in fact fight Liu Bu all at the same time, 3-on-1.
We have defeated the rebel leader, Dong Zhuo. I would like to thank each member of the Allied forces that participated in this struggle. As your leader, I am proud of you all.
So the story that was in that cutscene earlier, and that happened in the book The Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Liu Bu comes out to taunt the coalition. Gongsun Zan goes to challenge but has to withdraw. Liu Bu gives chase but is distracted by Zhang Fei, who calls him a slave with 3 surnames, referring to Liu Bu's original surname and those of his 2 foster fathers. Liu Bu then battles Zhang Fei for 50 duels, neither gaining an advantage over the other. Following that, Guan Yu dashes out to assist Zhang Fei. The 3 fighters are engaged in another 30 or so bouts when Liu Bei also joins in the fray. The 3 sworn brothers encircle Liu Bu and take turns attacking him from different directions. Liu Bu is unable to defeat all 3 opponents, so he pretends to attack Liu Bei and escapes through the gap when Liu dodges the attack. Liu Bu then flees back to Hulao Pass with the 3 brothers hot on the tail, but they cannot catch up to him because of the speed of his horse, the Red Hare. They abandon the chase after they spot Dong Zhuo.
Now that Dong Zhuo is gone, it is time to disperse the Allied forces. However, those who fought under the Yuan banner shall never forget the privilege that was bestowed upon them.
Very well. On this 3rd visit, allow me to receive you. The land must be divided in 3. You will take 1/3.
Divide it? Into 3?
Eventually, the other 2/3 shall be yours. And like today, you will knock 3 times on the gates to the heavens.
We defeated Dong Zhuo, but our great army disbanded, and its heroes went their separate ways. Does no one else care about restoring the Han? It became clear that I must take the matter into my own hands. I set out to seek the guidance of the brilliant strategist, Zhuge Liang. According to Zhuge Liang, I must escape the grip of Cao Cao and defend myself from the Sun family to establish my own kingdom. By winning the hearts of the people, I will one day rule the land.
So this is going to be skipping pretty far ahead in time. So we are going to be skipping over his servants, his service under Gongsun Zan, the man that he studied with earlier, and he would help Gongsun Zan in his conquest as a warlord in the northeast. After that, there's a big paragraph here about succeeding Tao Qian. Yuan Shao's ally Cao Cao attacked Tao Qian, the governor of Zhu, and at the time there were opposing alliances with Yuan Shu, Tao Qian, and Gongsun Zan on one side against Yuan Shao, Cao Cao, and Liu Biao on the other. In the face of strong pressure from Cao Cao, Tao Qian appealed to Chiang Kai for help. Chiang Kai and Liu Bei led their armies to support Tao Qian. Liu Bei himself led over 5,000 soldiers with mixed barbarian cavalry from the Wuhan of You province. He also conscripted several thousands among the people. Lots going on here. I'm not going to read this entire paragraph, but eventually Tao Qian's illness became serious and he told mounted escort Mi Zhu, "Other than Liu Bei, there is no one who can bring peace to this province." Upon his death, the Mi family backed Liu Bei instead of one of Tao Qian's sons to be the new governor of Zhu. Mi Zhu then led the residents of the province to meet Liu Bei, however he was still hesitant and apprehensive about taking his post. He then consulted Kong Rong and Chan Deng. Today the House of the Han is in decline and the empire is in chaos. It is the moment to establish merit and to accomplish affairs. This province is rich with a population of 1 million. We wish to impose on you the post of the inspector and have you assume charge of affairs of the province. Liu Bei answered, Yuan Shao is nearby at Shouchun. That man is from a line of 4 dukes in 5 generations. The empire is turning to him. You can give the province to him. Chen Deng then said, Gong Lu is arrogant. That's Yuan Shu's courtesy name. He is not the ruler to bring order out of the chaos. Now I wish to assemble 100,000 infantry and cavalry for my lord. Above, you can assist our sovereign and bring aid to the common people. Then you can fulfill the calling of the 5 hegemons. Below you could allocate territory and preserve the boundaries. Finally, you could write your achievements on bamboo and silk to be recorded for posterity. If the inspector does not assent, then I also dare not to obey the inspector. Liu Bei finally took over Zhou province after Yuan Shao recognized the legitimacy of his governorship. After that is the conflict with Liu Bu. In 195, Liu Bu was defeated by Cao Cao and sought shelter under Liu Bei. And then, of course, Liu Bu would steal Zhou province from Liu Bei, keep Liu Bei kind of under his own wing, and then kick him out, and then Liu Bei would come back. That's the Battle of Jiapi. There is a lot here about that as well, but like I said, it looks like we're skipping ahead to when he meets Zhuge Liang, which is several years in the future.
Master Liu Bei, with me as your strategist, I shall give my all and lead us to victory. This escape from the clutches of Cao Cao shall be no different.
By 199, Cao Cao enjoyed strong political advantage over his rivals because he had Emperor Jian and the Han central government firmly under his control. Liu Bei participated in a conspiracy with Dong Cheng, a colonel of the Chang River encampment, Zhongji, General Wu Jilan, and General Wang Jifu to assassinate Cao Cao, after Dong Cheng had received a secret edict from within Emperor Jian's clothing and girdle to kill Cao Cao. Around this time, Cao Cao said brusquely to Liu Bei, Currently, among the heroes of the Empire, there's only you and I. The ilk of Ben Chu are not worth counting. At this moment, Liu Bei was taking a bite from the shock dropped his chopstick and spoon. He excused himself on the account of a clap of thunder and told to Cao Cao, when the wise said, if there is a sudden clap of thunder and a fierce wind, I must change my countenance. It was truly with it reason. The awesomeness of a single clap can cause this. And, like from the other side of it, with Cao Cao, with Guan Yu, Liu Bei was underneath Yuan Shao at the time during the Battle of Guan Yu and so on. Pei Zongxi about this commented, Cao Cao had Liu Bei lead an army to attack Yuan Shu. Guo Jia, along with others, were against this decision, however he refused to listen to them. The matter should be clear. Liu Bei didn't escape because he was growing vegetables. All of this is absurd. So, it looks like Liu Bei escaped from Cao Cao's control, leaving his sworn brothers behind. You know, what a great and virtuous man he is. I'm gonna keep doing that, I'm sorry. Yuan Shao had defeated Gongsun Zan and was preparing to attack Cao Cao. Liu Bei then sent his advisor Sun Qian to meet Yuan Shao and request that he launch an immediate attack on Cao Cao, but Yuan Shao refused. In 200, Cao Cao discovered Dong Cheng's conspiracy and had all the participants rounded up and executed. Liu Bei survived the purge because he was not in Xuchang. Having achieved stability in Xuchang, Cao Cao turns his attention towards Yuan Shao. Cao Cao then made a highly risky move. He predicted that Yuan Shao would not make any advances, so he secretly left his defensive position along the Yellow River and personally led an army to Zhou province to attack Liu Bei. Under the weight of Cao Cao's attacks, Liu Bei's forces quickly disintegrated and Zhou province fell to Cao Cao. Zhang Fei protected Liu Bei as he fled from Xiaopei. After his defeat, Guan Yu, isolated in Jiapi commandery, was captured by Cao Cao's forces and decided to surrender and temporarily serve under Cao Cao. Liu Bei headed north to join Yuan Shao. Liu Bei first went to Qing, which was under Yuan Tan's supervision, but before Liu Bei had formally recommended Yuan Tan as an abundant talent, therefore they had good relation. Yuan Tan himself led infantry and cavalry to welcome him. Both left for Ping Yuan. Yuan Tom then sent a messenger to report to his father. Yuan Shao then sent a commander to greet Liu Bei and personally went 200 li from Ye to welcome him. Let's see. Liu Bei was a former Yellow Turban rebel and started a revolt. Liu Bei convinced Yuan Shao to lend him some troops. At the same time, Guan Yu rejoined Liu Bei. When Liu Bei arrived, many among the commandery joined and supported him, along with Liu Bei, then led their forces to Runan Commandery to attack Zhuchang while Cao Cao was away at Guandu. However, as Cao Ren foresaw, most of them were newly recruits or Yuan Shao's soldiers not ready to follow Liu Bei's orders. Therefore, he quickly assembled cavalry and defeated them. Liu Bei then returned to Yuan Shao and urged him to ally with Liu Biao, the governor of Jing. Yuan Shao then sent him with some troops to Runan to assist the rebel leader Gong Du. Liu Bei and Gong Du defeated and killed Cai Yang, one of Cao Cao's officers who led troops to attack them. Before killing Cai Yang, Liu Bei proclaimed, "I may be lacking in power, but even if you were 10,000, still you couldn't defeat me. Only Cao Mengde would force me to flee." Indeed, Liu Bei defeated and killed Cai Yang along with the others and fled when he learned that Cao Cao was leading an army his way. After that, he would take refuge under Liu Biao. In 201, Cao Cao led his army to attack Liu Bei in Runan Commandery after his victory over Yuan Shao at the Battle of Guandu. Liu Bei sent Mi Zhu and Sun Qian as ambassadors to Liu Biao. Liu Biao himself came to the outskirts to greet Liu Bei and his followers and treated them with utmost courtesy due to an honored guest. He gave him some troops and sent him to station at Jinye County in northern Jing to guard against Cao Cao. Soon, many men of talents joined Liu Bei and his rank greatly increased. Liu Biao didn't trust him and secretly guarded against Liu Bei. In 202, Liu Biao ordered Liu Bei to fend off Zhao Hodun, Yu Jin, and others at Bowang. Liu Bei led his army and set up an ambush. He set fire to his own camp and faked a retreat. When Zhao Hodun led his soldiers to the pursuit, they were crushed by the troops lying in ambush at the Battle of Bowang. Liu Bei stayed in Jing for 7 years. When he was talking with Liu Biao, he rose up to go to the toilet. Then he noticed that the flesh in his thighs had increased. He sighed heavily and wept. When he returned to his seat, Liu Biao was surprised and asked him about it. Liu Bei replied, "When I was younger, I never left the saddle. My thighs were thin. Now I do not ride anymore. They have grown. The days and months pass like a stream, and old age will come, but I have achieved nothing. That is why I'm sad." Once Liu Bei camped at Fancheng with his soul, I'm going to skip that paragraph. In 207, Cao Cao planned a campaign to conquer Wuhuan in the north, but was apprehensive that Liu Biao might attack his base. However, he was assured by Guo Jia that Liu Biao would not do so, for fear of Liu Bei being more powerful than he was. Cao Cao agreed, and Guo Jia's point was proven later when Liu Biao refused to attack Zhu when Liu Bei advised him to do so. When Cao Cao returned from Liu Chong, Liu Biao told Liu Bei, "I didn't adopt your proposal and now I lost this great opportunity." Liu Bei answered, "Now the empire is in chaos and every day there are battles. What seemed to be a good opportunity may present himself later. If you are able to respond to them accordingly, then this isn't worth regret." Away from the battlefields and east, under Liu Biao's efficient rule, Jing province was prosperous and a popular destination for literati fleeing from the destruction of war. Liu Bei asked Sima Hui, a revered recluse, about scholars. Sima Hui, friend Pan Degong named Zhuge Liang and Pang Tong as exceptional talents who could comprehend important events of their time. Zhu Shu also urged Liu Bei to call on Zhuge Liang, which it's kind of funny that Zhu Shu is mentioned here because Zhu Shu works under Cao Cao eventually, but he did serve Liu Bei very, very short time in 208 because he was also in Jing at the time. So it's always just kind of funny to see Zhu Shu's name there. Liu Bei went to see Zhuge Liang and finally had an audience with him after 3 visits. Zhuge Liang presented Liu Bei with his Longzhong plan, general long-term plan outlining the takeover of Jing and Yi, set up a 2-pronged final strike at the imperial capital. When Liu Bei met Zhuge Liang, with respect, he told him, "At this moment, the House of Han is in great danger. A wicked minister wished to steal the mandate for himself, hence the emperor is forced to live in exile. Although I have neither virtue nor strength, I still wish to act for the realm and help restore righteousness. Really, I lack of skills and intelligence. Therefore, my fate have been met with several misfortunes. Yet I have some ambition left, and therefore ask you, sir, what do you think I should do? That's a big-ass paragraph. Zhuge Liang answered Liu Bei. Since Dong Zhuo took power, countless men of talent have tried their chances among the provinces and took control of commanderies. Looking at Cao Cao, in comparison with Yuan Shao, his reputation was weaker and his army disposed of less soldiers. However, it is him who obtained victory. This is an example of someone weak defeating someone strong. Even if he had the will of heaven with him, the achievements of men were needed to realize success. At this moment, Cao Cao assembled an army of 1,000,000 soldiers and used the Son of Heaven to give orders to the feudal lords to have them follow his will. Therefore, we cannot battle with him directly. Moreover, there is also Sun Quan. He enjoys control over the Southland, where his family took power for 3 generations. The region disposed of natural borders. The people are attached to him, and he recruits the worthy and talented. You can gain his support, however, he cannot be conquered. Looking at the region of Jing, it is protected to the north by the Han and the Mian rivers, while harvesting the reward of the southern sea. His borders are Wu and Kuaiji to the east, with Ba and Shu to the west. Therefore, it can be used to support military operations, yet the current governor of Jing cannot use it. General, it seems that heaven itself made Jing province such a great land to have it gifted into your hands. Moreover, there is also the province of Yi, blessed with both natural defenses and fertile fields. It is a treasure of heaven. That is the reason why Gao Zhu, with his province as his base, could achieve his ambition of becoming emperor. However, his governor, Liu Zhang, is weak and feeble, with Zhang Lu to the north. Yi province is a wealthy land filled with many people, but Liu Zhang cannot govern them. The masses wish for someone to bring them stability, and the talented want to have a wise ruler. While you, General, are a descendant of the Imperial Han, and your reputation for righteousness and honor is already known throughout the whole realm, you assemble bold heroes, and you look for worthy people as one thirsts for water. Therefore, I advise you to take control of both Jing and Yi provinces. Use their natural borders to defend yourself while you make peace with wrong tribes in the west. Bring stability to the Yue tribes in the south. Form close ties with Sun Quan in the east, and develop your state internally. In time, a great opportunity will be revealed. Then you could appoint one of your generals to lead the forces of Jing towards Wan and Luoyang, while you command the army of Yi into Guangzhong. When this happened, who will not welcome you and offer you food and drink? Then you will accomplish your ambition to be a hegemon and revive the glory of the Imperial Han. Liu Bei was greatly pleased and became closer colleague of Zhuge Liang's each day, like a fish that had found water. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. The Records of Heroes stated that when Liu Biao was ill, he sent a memorial to have Liu Bei promoted to governor of Jing. Pei Zongxi believed that as Liu Biao and his wife already had decided to remove the eldest son from succession for a younger one they favored, there would be no reason for him to provide the Jing province to Liu Bei. Therefore, he said that those were incorrect statements about Liu Biao entrusting Liu Bei with Jing. Liu Biao died in 208, and his younger son Liu Kong succeeded him and surrendered to Cao Cao without informing Liu Bei. By the time Liu Bei heard the news of the surrender, Cao Cao's army had already reached Wan. When he heard of his surrender, he had someone close to him ask about it. Liu Zhong then sent Song Zhong to Liu Bei. When they met, Cao Cao was in Wan and Liu Bei was furious. He said to Song Zhong, "All of you act in such an undesirable way and have not been honest with us from the start. Now only when catastrophe is near do you dare show your face. Are you thinking of me as a fool?" Liu Bei pulled his sword on Song Zhong and said, "If I were to behead you now, it would quell my rage. However, it would be a shame for a man of my stature to kill someone like you when they are about to fall." Liu Bei sent Song Zhong away and summoned his officers to discuss the next strategy. Among them, some wanted Liu Bei to persuade Liu Zhong, his officials, and the nobles of Jing to flee south to Jiangling. However, Liu Bei replied, "When Liu Biao was near death, it gave me responsibility for his orphaned sons. Now I would have to betray him and his trust to save myself, and this isn't something I am ready to do. After death, how could I face him?" Liu Bei would then abandon Fancheng, leading civilians and his followers on an exodus to the south. Around this time, Zhuge Liang advised Liu Bei to launch an attack on Liu Kong so that Jing province could belong to him, but Liu Bei answered that he couldn't bear to do it. Then he passed near Liu Kong's city and wanted to see him. However, Liu Kong was afraid and would not move. Many of Liu Kong's supporters and people of Jing joined him. Around this time, Liu Bei took his leave at Liu Biao's grave. He wept at the situation facing Jing.
Normally, I would ask that you just flee immediately. But this time, you must meet Cao Cao head-on and then make your retreat. In order for the land to be divided in three, my lord must show to everybody here at Changban that he is a hero equal to that of Cao Cao. Now, shall we go?
Afraid that Liu Bei might reach Jiangling County, which had military stores, before he did, Cao Cao led his cavalry on a pursuit to Jiangyang, where he learned that Liu Bei had already passed through there. He urged his 5,000 elite troops to move as quickly as possible. In a day and a night, they covered over 300 li, and Cao Cao caught up with Liu Bei and captured most of his people and baggage in the Battle of Changban.
Our Lord's child.
Oh yeah, by the way, Liu Bei left his family behind and fled with only scores of followers. He made it to the Han Ford, where he met Guan Yu's fleet. They crossed the Mian River to Jiangsha Commandery, where the Yangtze River to Xiakou, where they took shelter with Liu Qi, Liu Biao's elder son, and met up with over 10,000 followers. Liu Qi objected to his brother's surrender to Cao Cao, and was able to maintain Jiangxia Commandery and Xiakou, allowing more of his father's former subordinates to escape from Cao Cao. Following this, Zhuge Liang told Liu Bei that the situation was critical and pressed Liu Bei to grant him authority to start an alliance with Sun Quan.
Those who stand in the way of virtue shall fail. We managed to escape from Cao Cao's army. This is due to the fact that everybody risked their lives for me. I see that I am truly loved by my followers. However, we must be careful to avoid such a situation again in the future. Cao Cao will not let us escape a second time. If only we had a land to call our own, we could fight back. Thanks to Zhuge Liang's strategy, we were able to drive Cao Cao from Changban. We then formed a pact against Cao Cao with Sun Quan.
When Liu Bei was still at Danyang, Lu Su met him, discussed with him the situation in the empire, and hinted that he should ally with the warlord Sun Quan against Cao Cao. After that, Lu Su asked Liu Bei where he wanted to go next, but Liu Bei answered that he and Wu Ju, the administrator of Kangwu Commandery, were friends, and that he desired to join him. Lu Su told Liu Bei Sun Quan is talented and kind. He treats both the elites and the worthies with respect. All the heroes from the south of the Yangtze River already joined him. He already holds the 6 commanderies. His troops trained and the supplies abundant. You should join him. Now I propose this plan to you. You should send a confidant of you as an envoy to the east and establish connections. Promote the gains of this alliance, and together we shall follow the same goal. But you speak of Wu Ju. He has no talents and commands a distant commandery. He will soon be under another. How can you entrust yourself to him? Liu Bei agreed with Lu Su. Zhuge Liang, as Liu Bei's representative, followed Lu Su to meet Sun Quan at Qiaxiang County, where they discussed the formation of a Sun Liu alliance against Cao Cao. Sun Quan already knew of Liu Bei's great reputation and was impressed by Zhuge Liang's exceptional eloquence, which there is not a lot of on this Wikipedia page, I can tell you that. There are a lot of small misspellings. Therefore, Liu Bei and Sun Quan formed the first alliance against the southward expansion of Cao Cao. Liu Bei followed Lu Su's plan and led his army to Fangkou, while Zhuge Liang was still on his diplomatic trip to Wu. Cao Cao had already led his vast army from the north and was near. Hearing about this, Liu Bei was afraid. Each day he sent a scout to learn if Sun Quan's army arrived. One day the scout reported that Zhou Yu's army was here. Liu Bei asked him if it was Cao Cao's armies from Zhu and Qing. However, the scout reassured him that he recognized Zhou Yu's boats. Liu Bei had a messenger sent to them. Zhou Yu told the messenger that he couldn't move because of his duty, but wished to see and assist Liu Bei. Liu Bei told Guan Yu and Zhang Fei that after they made contact and established alliance, it wouldn't be fair for them to refuse their invitation, then joined Zhou Yu via a single boat. He told Zhou Yu that they needed a plan to defeat Cao Cao and asked about the number of troops he had. Zhou Yu answered 30,000, which Liu Bei felt was not enough. Zhou Yu insisted that it would be enough for his plan and he only needs to watch him destroy Cao Cao's army. Liu Bei wished to deliberate with the others. Zhou Yu told him that he couldn't leave his post, and if he wanted to discuss with Lu Su, he would separately go see him. He also adds that Zhuge Liang would be here in 2 or 3 days. Liu Bei felt disconcerted, and although he knew of Zhou Yu's talent, he didn't believe he would defeat Cao Cao. Therefore, along with 2,000 soldiers, Guan Yu and Zhang Fei refused to link his own force with Zhou Yu, allowing a position where he could either advance or withdraw. Both sides would then clash at the Battle of Red Cliff.
Our combined army came face to face with Cao Cao at Chibi. Thanks to the heroic efforts of officers from both our kingdoms, we managed to lay waste to his great fleet. Which concluded with a decisive victory for the Sun Liu side. Liu Bei and the Sun troops advanced by land and water until Cao Cao was pushed to non-commandery. Cao Cao retreated north after his defeat and left behind Cao Ren and Zhu Huang to guard Jiangling County and Yue Jin to defend Xiangyang. Right now, Cao Cao is attempting to flee from the battlefield that burns around him. At last, we have the upper hand. If I am to realize my ambition, I must catch and kill Cao Cao.
We shall cooperate with Wu and attempt to chase down Cao Cao, who, having suffered a near disastrous defeat at Chibi, has no choice other than to escape. This is the best chance we have had yet.
I will say, reading Liu Bei's Wikipedia here, it feels like it was not written by someone whose first language is English. There are a lot of very short sentences.
Cao Cao, in an attempt to rebuild his fallen army, is retreating to Jiangling. Everybody, I want you to go and hunt down Cao Cao. My lord, if you can defeat Cao Cao convincingly here, then it shall bide you the time you need to obtain the lands of Shu. Now, it is time for us to go.
Is this where my struggle finally ends? Guan Yu, was my fate decided from the very moment that you left me? Go. It is still not possible for me to forget my debt to you. But that debt ends here. The next time you oppose my lord, I will kill you. Remember that, Lord Cao Cao.
We have thoroughly crushed Cao Cao's army. It was quite humorous to see them scattering about like ants. This defeat should shut him up for a while. However, he will definitely come seeking revenge. Before that time comes, we must build up our military strength and be prepared to meet their advance.
Following their victory, Zhou Yu divided some area to the south for Liu Bei. Liu Bei established his camp at Youjiangkou, later called Gong'an County. Many of Liu Biao's officers and scholars who were previously forced to join the northern armies rebelled and used this opportunity to join Liu Bei. Liu Bei believed that the territory given to him was too small to secure his people and received more commanderies from Sun Quan. Sun Quan's forces, led by Zhou Yu, attacked Cao Ren after their resounding victory to wrestle control of Jiangling County. Liu Bei recommended Liu Qi to be the new inspector of Jing and led his men to capture the 4 commanderies in southern Jing. Changsha, led by Han Zhuan, Lingling, led by Liu Du, Guiyang, led by Zhao Fan, and Wu Ling, led by Jin Zhuan. Lei Zhu of Lujiang also amassed many followers and led 10,000 soldiers to Liu Bei. Liu Bei set up his base in Gong'an County and continued to strengthen his forces. When Liu Qi died in 209, shortly after Liu Bei secured his position in southern Jing, all of Liu Qi's followers wanted for Liu Bei to succeed him as the new inspector of Jing, and his administrative seat at Gong'an, which he accepted. To further strengthen the Sun-Liu alliance, Liu Bei traveled to Sun Quan's territory to marry Sun Quan's younger sister, Lady Sun. After the political marriage, Sun Quan not only recognized the legitimacy of Liu Bei's control over southern Jing, but also agreed to lend non-commandery to him. Sun Quan sent an envoy to Liu Bei and expressed his desire for both of them to conquer Yi. The emissary reported to Liu Bei, "The rice bandit Zhang Lu has made his base in Ba and acted as a king. He served at Cao Cao's eyes and ears and wants to conquer Yi. Liu Zhang is weak and can't defend himself. If Cao Cao gained Yi province, Jing would be in danger. Now you should first conquer Liu Zhang, then Zhang Lu. The tail and head are connected. Once we unite Wu and Chu, even if there is 10 Cao Cao, there would be no need for worry."
After the Battle of Chibi, we made a firm stand by quickly subduing the area of Jing. These are the lands from which I will form a great kingdom. Zhuge Liang has advised that I spread my rule by leading my army into Shu. This move will be the catalyst that splits the land into 3 divisions. But Shu is currently under the rule of my fellow clansman Liu Zhang. I can't help but question the virtue of stealing land from a member of my own family.
Liu Bei's officers thought Liu Bei should conquer this land alone since Sun Quan couldn't extend his land beyond Jing. Yin Guan at this time was master of records of Jing province. He said, "If you act as the vanguard for Sun Quan and moved your army but failed to conquer Yi, while you are away, Sun Quan could use this to his advantage and everything would be lost. For the time being, you should only encourage his attack on Yi while you explain that you recently conquered several commanderies and cannot act yet. Sun Quan would not dare pass through us to take Yi alone. With such a strategy of advance and withdrawal, you can reap both the benefits of Sun Quan and the Yi province." Liu Bei agreed and followed this plan. He then had Yin Guan promoted to the mounted escort attendant. And so Liu Bei answered to Sun Quan, "The people of Yi are strong and rich, moreover the land is hard to conquer. Even if Liu Zhang is weak, he can defend himself. Zhang Lu is crafty and may not be loyal to Cao Cao. Now with fierce soldiers of Yi in the complicated terrain, the battle is far harder and may be something that Wu Qi wouldn't accomplish even less than an officer of Sun. Even if Cao Cao wanted to destitute the emperor, he is still officially his protector, and when the civils saw his defeat at Chibi, okay, that's definitely like non-English misspelling right there. They completely messed up. It's spelled Cibhi at Chibi. They said that his ambition was over and his power ended. However, he already possessed 2/3 of the empire, and he surely wants to take his horse to the far est of the world and led his army to Wu Gui commanderies. Why would he allow us to expend ourselves while waiting for his death? Now, if we were to attack an ally, Liu Zhang, without reason, Cao Cao would use this opportunity to crush us while we are infighting. This is not a good plan." Sun Quan didn't listen and sent Sun Yu to lead his troops and camped at Jiakou. However, Liu Bei blocked this army and would not allow them to pass. He said to Sun Yu, "If you take Yi, then I shall let my hair down, go into the mountains, and become a hermit so I would not lose the trust of the empire." Also, he ordered Guan Yu to encamp at Jiangling, Zhang Fei at Jigui, Zhuge Liang in non-commandery, and Liu Bei himself led his men at Jianling. When Sun Quan saw this, he grasped Liu Bei's intentions and had ordered Sun Yu to return. Subsequently, former subordinates of Liu Biao who were unwilling to serve Cao Cao came to join Liu Bei. After the death of Zhou Yu in 210 and Liu Bei's growing influence in southern Jing, Sun Quan's position in the north became more untenable. Lu Su succeeded Zhou Yu as the frontline commander of Sun Quan's armies and moved headquarters to Lu Kou, yielding all commanderies of Jing province and access to Yi province to Liu Bei.
Master Liu Bei, Now for the final step in the Three Kingdoms strategy. We shall deploy our troops outside of Chengdu and attack it. Following this battle, you will be in command of your own country.
In 211, Liu Zhang, the governor of Yi, heard that Cao Cao planned to attack the warlord Zhang Lu in Hanzhong Commandery, as Hanzhong Commandery was a strategic location and the northern gateway into Yi province. Liu Zhang was afraid. At this time, the mounted escort Shang Song told him, Cao Cao's armies are strong and without a match in the empire. He is able to use Zhang Lu's grain stores and launch an invasion of Yi. Who could stop him? Liu Zhang answered that he was worried, but without a plan. Zhang Song answered, Liu Bei is of the same clan as you, and he is unstoppable rival of Cao Cao. He commands troops with talent. If we use him to conquer Zhang Lu would surely be defeated. With Zhang Lu vanquished, Yi province would be safe, and even if Cao Cao were to come, he would be defeated. After listening to this advice, Liu Shang sent Fa Zhang with 4,000 men to form an alliance with Liu Bei and presented him with many expensive gifts. Zhang Song and Fa Zhang privately disapproved of Liu Zhang's governance and looked at Liu Bei as a solution for a legitimate successor. When Liu Bei met them, he welcomed them warmly and treated them with kindness. He used this opportunity to learn more about Yi, mostly the weaponry, the stores, and the number of horses, as well as other strategic locations and their distances to each other. Zhang Song and his entourage told him about everything, and furthermore drew a map of Yi with the location of the mountains and rivers. With their help, Liu Bei learned all about Yi province. Liu Zhang invited Liu Bei to join him in Yi to capture Hanzhong before Cao Cao did. Liu Bei led an expedition force of several 10,000 soldiers into Yi after leaving behind Zhuge Liang, Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, and Zhao Yun to guard Jing. Liu Zhang welcomed Liu Bei when they saw each other. Both of them were friendly. Before this, Zhang Song told Fa Zhang to report to Liu Bei that the counselor Pang Tong backing, they could ambush Liu Zhang at the meeting spot. However, Liu Bei thought that the plan was too hasty for such an important act. Liu Zhang then sent a proposition to have Liu Bei made Commander-in-Chief and Colonel Director of the Retainers. Liu Bei also proposed Liu Zhang to be General who subdues the West and Governor of Yi. And it spells Governor G-O-U-V-E-R-N-O-R. There's no U in Governor. Liu Zhang provided him with more troops under his command and had him supervise the White River Army. With those reinforcements, Liu Bei's army was over 30,000 men with plenty of weapons and horses. While Liu Zhang left for Chengdu, Liu Bei headed to Jiameng Pass, at the border between Liu Zhang and Zhang Lu's territories. Instead of engaging Zhang Lu, Liu Bei halted his advance and focused on building connections and gaining influence around the area. He was kind and virtuous, and so soon he gained the hearts of the masses. In the next year, oh my goodness, this just keeps going and going and going, bro. In the next year, Cao Cao launched a campaign against Sun Quan and called Liu Bei for help. Liu Bei sent a messenger to Liu Zhang. Cao Cao campaigned against Sun, and now they are in danger. Both me and them were like lips and teeth. Moreover, Guan Yu is fighting against Yue Jian at Qingni. If I don't go help him now and he is defeated, then he will invade Jing and the danger will be greater than Zhang Lu. Skipping ahead a little bit. Fa Zhang, Zhang Song, and Meng Da set into motion their plan, but they worried that Liu Bei would leave. They said to him now that success is near, and he could give up and leave. At this time, Zhang Su, Shang Song's brother, discovered his brother's secret communications with Liu Bei and reported the issue to Liu Zhang. Liu Zhang was furious and stunned when he heard that Zhang Song had been helping Liu Bei take over Yi from him. He executed Zhang Song and ordered his officers guarding the passage to Chengdu to keep secret documents and letters to Liu Bei. When Liu Bei found out about this, he was furious. Fa Zhang and Meng Da defected to Liu Bei's side before Yang Huai and Gao Pei, Liu Jian's subordinates guarding Bo Shui Pass, knew about Liu Bei's true motive. Liu Bei lured Yang Huai and Gao Pei into a trap and executed them for behaving disrespectfully towards him. He then took command of Yang Huai's and Gao Pei's troops. Liu Bei then had Huang Zhong and Zhuo Ying lead his soldiers against Liu Zhang. When he entered the different passes, he took the commanders as hostage along with their family. He then advanced with his troops and turned to attack Bu County.
In this battle, Pang Tong shall be issuing orders to everybody. If you follow his instructions, then victory is assured. My lord, this battle shall test whether our hearts are just. However, in order to bring an end to the chaos and welcome a new land of virtue, we must fight.
In the spring of 213, Liu Zhang sent Liu Gui, Ling Bao, Zhang Ren, Deng Jiang, Wu Ji, and others to stop him at Fu. However, all were soundly defeated and had to retreat to Mianzhu. They were killed or captured by Liu Bei's forces. Despite being the most trusted vassal of Liu Zhang, Wu Yi soon changed allegiance. Li Yan and Fei Guan were sent to help him at Mianzhu, but they surrendered to Liu Bei as well. Liu Bei's army was getting stronger, and he sent commanders to pacify other prefectures. They led their army and pacified Baidi, Jiangzhou, and Jiangyang. Only Guan Yu stayed behind to defend Jing. Now the remnant force was under command of Liu Zhang's son, Liu Jun, and he retreated to Luo County. There, Pang Tong was killed by a stray arrow, and the siege became a prolonged one for nearly a year. Luo County fell to Liu Bei in 214. Excuse me. Previously, when Liu Bei launched his campaign against Liu Zhang, Zhao Jian, a Wei official who served as a clerk in the Chancellor's office, believed Liu Bei would fall, mentioning his past failures and Yi's natural defenses. However, Fu Gan chastised him and said Liu Bei is generous and lenient. His men are willing to fight to the death for him. Zhuge Liang is a perceptive administrator, able to adapt to changing situations. He is honorable, talented in planning, and worked as his chancellor. Zhang Fei and Guan Yu are brave and also possess righteousness. Both of them are known as warriors who are a match for 10,000 men, and are his commanders. These three men are heroes. Knowing of Liu Bei's awareness, along with the three heroes assisting him, how could he not succeed? Liu Zhang continued to hold up inside Chengdu. Ma Chao, a former warlord and vassal under Zhang Lu, defected to Liu Bei's side and joined him in attacking Chengdu. Although Although Chengdu's... where was I?
Now all we have to do is deal with Liu Zhang.
I refuse to give up without a fight.
Although Chengdu's citizens were terrified by Ma Chao's army, they insisted on putting up a desperate fight against the enemy. However, Liu Zhang surrendered to Liu Bei after stating that he did not wish to see further bloodshed. Liu Bei succeeded Liu Zhang as the governor of Yi and relocated him to Gong'an County in the Jing province. The Yi province was rich and prosperous. Liu Bei had a banquet prepared for the officers and soldiers. He used the gold and silver to repay them and distributed silk and grain to the common people.
A well-planned strategy.
Attacked my family, forced to surrender, to give up the land of my fathers. I'm sure to be the laughingstock of future peoples.
Master Liu Zhang, forgive me. But my ideal has no place for doubt. I shall restore the Han Empire, and it shall all start here in Shu. I have defeated Liu Zhang and gained the lands of Shu. If it weren't for everybody's support, I would have forsaken both justice and the lands of Shu in the name of humanity. Now that I have the rich and fertile lands of Shu under my control, I shall not fall behind Cao Cao and Wu. Finally, the path to a land that exists for the people has been opened.
During the assault on Fan Castle, the Wu army surrounded General Guan Yu and...
It can't be. Guan Yu. Bring me my sword at once. Everyone, begin preparing for war.
No, my lord. Our enemy is Wei. It would not be just to attack
Defeat
Wu.
Wei, and Wu will have no choice other than to surrender. Please reconsider.
None of that matters to me now. Neither of you understand my pain. I must do it. For the death of my brother. Wu must pay! How can this be? Guan Yu has been killed in a sinister plot by Wu. Zhang Fei, too, has been murdered, killed by his own men, as he prepared to avenge Guan Yu.
After Liu Bei's conquest of Yi, Sun Quan sent Lu Su as an emissary to demand the return of the commanderies in Jing, but Liu Bei refused and told him to wait until he took Liang province. Sun Quan was furious, so he sent Lu Meng and Ling Tong to lead 20,000 men to attack southern Jing, and they succeeded in capturing Changsha, Guiyang, and Lingling commanderies. In the meantime, Lu Su and Gan Ning advanced to Yiyang County with 10,000 men to block Guan Yu, and took over command of the army at Lukou. Liu Bei personally went to Gong'an with 50,000 soldiers, while Guan Yu led 30,000 men to Yiyang County. When war was about to break out, Liu Bei received news that Cao Cao was planning to attack Hanzhong Commandery after Zhang Lu fled to Baji. Liu Bei became worried about Cao Cao seizing Hanzhong and requested for a border treaty with Sun Quan for the Jing province, with Jiangxia, Changsha, and Guiyang going to Sun Quan, while Nan, Lingling, and Wuling would go back to Liu Bei, setting a new border along the Jiang River. Liu Bei led his army back to Ba Commandery and had Huang Chuan sent to lead troops to meet Zhang Lu. However, he already had surrendered to Cao Cao. In 215, Cao Cao defeated Zhang Lu at the Battle of Yangping and seized Hanzhong Commandery. Sima Li and Liu Ye advised him to take advantage of the victory to attack Yi, since it was still unstable after Liu Bei's new government, and Liu Bei himself was away in Jing. Cao Cao, who was not fond of the terrain of the region, refused and left Zhao Hoyuan, Zhang He, and Zhu Huang to defend the commandery. In anticipation for a prolonged war, Zhang He led his army to Dangchu Commandery in order to relocate the population of Ba to Hanzhong Commandery. Meanwhile, Liu Bei appointed Zhang Fei as the administrator of Baji and ordered him to take over the region. Zhang Fei and Zhang He faced each other for 50 days, which concluded with victory for the former, following a surprise attack on the latter. Narrowly escaping, Zhang He retreated to Nazheng County on foot, and the Ba region became part of Liu Bei's territory. In 217, Fa Zheng pointed out the strategic necessities of seizing Hanzhong Commandery and advised Liu Bei to drive Cao Cao's force out of the area. Liu Bei sent Zhang Fei, Ma Chao, and others to capture Wudu Commandery, while he assembled an army and advanced to Yangping Pass. Zhang Fei was forced to retreat after his aides Wu Lan and Lei Tong were defeated and killed by Cao Cao's forces. Liu Bei engaged Zhao Hoyuan at Yangping Pass, tried to cut the enemy's supply route by sending his general Chen Shi to Maminje, I think that's just misspelled, but was routed by Zhao Hoyuan's subordinate, Zhu Huang. Liu Bei then pressed on Zhang He at Guangxi, but failed to achieve any success. At the same time, Zhao Hoyuan and Zhang He were not able to hinder Liu Bei from mobilizing forces around the area. The war turned into a stalemate, and Cao Cao decided to gather an army in Chang'an to fight Liu Bei. Liu Bei and Zhao Hoyuan had faced each other for over a year. Liu Bei led the main army to the south of the Mian River and ordered Huang Zhong to set up camps on Mount Dingjun, which is a battle it seems like we're skipping, where Zhao Hoyuan's encampment in the valley below could easily be monitored. One night, Liu Bei sent 10,000 troops to attack Zhang He and Guangxi and set fire to Zhao Hoyuan's barricades. Zhao Hoyuan then led a small detachment to put out the fire and sent the main army to reinforce Zhang He. Fa Zheng saw an opportunity for attack and signaled to Liu Bei to launch an assault. Liu Bei sent Huang Zhong to attack the weakened enemy from above. Huang Zhong targeted Zhao Hoyuan's unit and completely routed it. Both Zhao Hoyuan and Zhao Yong, Cao Cao's appointed inspector of Yi, were killed in battle. Zhang He, who had been informally elected to succeed Zhao Huiyuan by Du Ji and Guo Huai, retreated to the northern bank of the Han River and awaited Cao Cao's reinforcement from Chang'an. Liu Bei knew Cao Cao would come, yet he would not hold Hanzhong. He secured all strategic points at the exit of the passes linking Chang'an and Hanzhong Commandery, while Cao Cao was approaching via Jie Valley. Liu Bei faced Cao Cao for several months but never engaged in battle, effectively forcing Cao Cao to retreat as many of his soldiers started to desert. Zhang He also retreated to Chenkang County to set up defenses for a potential invasion by Liu Bei. Liu Bei led his main army to Nanjing and sent Meng Da and Liu Fang to capture Fangling and Shangyong. In 219, after Liu Bei conquered Hanzhong Commandery, his subjects urged him to declare himself a vassal king too, to challenge Cao Cao, who was enfeoffed as a vassal king of Wei by Emperor Jian. Liu Bei thus declared himself the king of Hanzhong and set up his headquarters in Chengdu, capital of Yi. He then designated his son Liu Shan as heir apparent. Wei Yan was put in charge of Hanzhong. Zhu Jing and Fa Zheng were respectively appointed as Grand Tutor and Prefect of the Masters of Writing in Liu Bei's vassal kingdom, while Guan Yu, Zhang Fei, Ma Chao, and Huang Zhong were respectively appointed generals of the vanguard, right, left, and rear. In early winter 219, Sun Quan's forces, led by Lu Meng, invaded Liu Bei's territories in Jing and captured and executed Guan Yu. After learning of Guan Yu's death and the loss of Jing, Liu Bei turned furious and ordered his troops to begin preparing for war. In early 220, Cao Cao died and was succeeded by his son Cao Pi. Later that year, Cao Pi usurped the throne from Emperor Jian, ended the Eastern Han, and established the state of Cao Wei with himself as emperor. With some reports saying that the Han emperor had been killed, Liu Bei declared mourning and adopted mourning clothes. He gave the emperor the posthumous title, the Filial Commiserating Emperor. Following the rumors of the Emperor Jian's death, there were many favorable omens, and soon more and more officials among Liu Bei's court advocated to have him declared emperor. However, Liu Bei refused. When Meng Da learned that Liu Bei was going to launch a campaign against Sun Quan, he became concerned that he would be punished for not sending reinforcements to Guan Yu earlier, so he defected to Wei. At the same time, Zhao Yun, Qin Mi, and others reminded Liu Bei that he should focus his attack on Cao Pi instead of Sun Quan, but Liu Bei rejected their advice. Seeing that Liu Bei did not prepare strong defenses against Wei, Meng Da suggested a plan to Cao Pi to attack Fangling, Shangyong, and Jichong commanderies. Liu Bei's adopted son Liu Fang fought a desperate battle against the invaders, but he was betrayed by his subordinates and defeated. Upon his return to Chengdu, Liu Bei was furious with Liu Feng's loss and his refusal to send reinforcement to Guan Yu in 219. Upon Zhuge Liang's suggestion, Liu Bei had Liu Feng commit suicide and wept after he died.
Responsibility for these tragedies falls directly on Wu. They shall feel my rage and pay for my brother's deaths with everything that they own.
In 221, Liu Bei declared himself emperor too and established the state of Shu Han. He claimed that his intention was to keep the Han dynasty's lineage alive. He changed the reign year and made Zhuge Liang his chancellor and Zhu Jing his minister over the masses. He established a bureaucracy and an ancestral temple where he offered sacrifices to Emperor Gao, the founding emperor of the Han dynasty. He designated Lady Wu as his empress and made his son Liu Shan a crown prince. Later, he named his son Liu Yong Prince of Lu and his other son Liu Li Prince of Liang. In the August of 221, Liu Bei personally led an army to attack Sun Quan to avenge Guan Yu.
Nothing else matters now. I can hear only the beating of my angry heart, and it is screaming for revenge. Revenge against the Sun family, for Zhang Fei and Guan Yu.
Sun Quan sent a letter seeking for peace, but Liu Bei refused. Even though Zhang Fei was murdered by his subordinates during the onset of the battle, Liu Bei was still able to achieve initial victories against the Sun commandants stationed at Wu and Jigui until Lu Jun, the frontline commander, ordered a retreat to Yiling. Lu Jun held his position there and refused to engage the invaders. Knowing that his enemy was not expecting a sudden strike, Lu Jun ordered a counterattack and set fire to the Shu camps, linked to each other by wooden fences. 40 camps of Liu Bei's expedition force were destroyed in the fire attack.
My lord, please forgive my directness. But we are not on the side of virtue in this battle. Battles fought out of spite or vengeance must be put aside for the greater good. The army my lord has assembled at Yiling is quite impressive, but it has one fatal flaw. If the enemy is wise, then I am afraid they will exploit it without fail. I apologize for my late arrival, but I have my reasons. Now we must somehow hold on and win this hopeless battle so that we may continue our dreams of a better tomorrow.
The attack is ready. Fire! Now it begins. These fires shall light the road to victory in this battle.
40 camps were destroyed by fire, and the remaining troops were defeated and forced to flee west to the Ma'an Hills, which is northwest of Yiling, where they set up a defense. Lu Xun caught up with them and besieged Liu Bei before his men could recuperate. Liu Bei managed to escape overnight to Bai Di Chong by ordering his men to discard their armor and set them aflame to form a fire blockade. Lu Xun was unable to overcome the blockade and did not press any further attack, while Liu Bei retreated to Yufu County, which he renamed Yong'an. Liu Bei lamented about this. My defeat is heaven's will.
In a sense, we were victorious. But due to my short temper, many had to sacrifice their lives to achieve this victory. I also allowed my enemy Sun Quan to escape.
Sun Quan heard that Liu Bei was in Bai Di and sent an envoy for peace. Liu Bei accepted and had Zhong Wei sent in response. When Huang Yuan, administrator of Han Jia, heard that Liu Bei was ill, he rebelled because he feared that after his death, his bad relationship with Zhuge Liang would bring him problems. He was defeated by Cheng Hu and executed. Liu Bei stayed in Bai Di Chong until his death from a serious illness on the 10th of June 223. On his deathbed, he named Zhuge Liang and Li Yan as regents to support Liu Shan and encourage his sons to live well and do right.
Now we had best return home and start rebuilding our strength. I too need to rethink the meaning of things such as justice and virtue.
Liu Bei's posthumous decree to Liu Shan was as such. At first my illness was only minor, but it later evolved into other serious diseases. Those were more dangerous and couldn't be cured. If a man dies at 50, it is not considered an early death. I am already past 60. What is there further to regret? I'm not worried about me, but I'm worried about you and your brothers. When Master Shu came, he told me that the Chancellor thought highly of you and saw you as a bright man exceeding his expectation. If he thinks so highly of you, then I can leave. Be vigilant. Be vigilant. If an evil is minor, resist it nonetheless. If a good deed is trifling, perform it all the same. Only wisdom and virtue can truly win men's devotion. I was not a virtuous man. Do not emulate me. You should study the history of the former Han and the record of rights in your free time, and read different philosophers such as the 6 Bow Cases and the Book of Lord Shang, which elevate the soul. Then you can seek the worthies. When he was near death, he told his son Liu Yong to treat with his brothers, the Chancellor, as a father and to do their utmost to help him. His body was brought back to Chengdu and entombed at Huiling. 4 months later, Liu Bei was given the posthumous name Zhao Liye. Liu Shan succeeded him as the Emperor of Shu Han, while Zhuge Liang later solidified peace with Sun Quan and rebuilt the old Sun-Liu alliance against Cao Pi formally.
I fought Wu at Yiling, but was unable to slay their lord Sun Quan. I rushed into that battle driven purely by hatred and completely ignoring my true purpose. Now, Wu has regrouped and come to attack me at Bai Di Castle. Just by looking at their formation, I can tell that they have come here seeking my head. Since we parted ways after the battle at Chi Bi, I have come into conflict with Wu a number of times. Now I must end this rivalry and defeat Wu once and for all.
My lord, our victory at Yiling was more than I expected. Surely your devotion for Master Guan Yu and the others who have fallen was felt by the very heavens themselves. The next battle is the defense of Bai Di Castle. Please go and defend the areas where our troops are weak. Try and lead our men to take the fight outside of the castle walls. There is a reason I cannot go to the battlefield. But I have prepared a number of strategies just for this type of occasion. My lord, let us put an end to Wu's destiny here at Bai Di Castle.
And as we know, Bai Di Castle, this battle represents a battle like 30, 40 years into the future in 263, when the Shu actually fell to Wei, in control of the Suma family. And at that point, as they were surrendering, the Wu thought, oh, well, shit, we need to try to get whatever we can from Shu's corpse. So they attacked Bai Di Castle. But it wouldn't really matter because they would surrender to Wei anyway. I'm surprised we didn't get more footnotes about the marriage between Liu Bei and Sun Shangjiang, as you know her in this game. But basically, she raised hell wherever she went, and she was just a major bitch. So Liu Bei had her sent back to Sun Quan, and that's the last we ever heard from her.
You arrogant fool! It's all your fault. You are the cause of Shangjiang's tears.
Shang Zhang and I may have been forced down different paths, but our feelings were true. And the bond that we share shall never be broken, not by anyone.
We were able to withstand the fierce onslaught of Wu and defend Bai Di Castle. We also managed to kill Sun Quan. I shall not forget this battle as long as I shall live. Before long, we shall be able to bring an end to the chaos that has plagued this land for so long. I only hope that Shu can bring them the peace they are so desperately looking for.
Wu is no more, and the three kingdoms have become two. I have reached the final leg of my journey, and at last my destiny is near. The legacy of my greatest enemy, Cao Cao, still remains. Only by defeating his vast kingdom of Wei can I realize my dream and create a new age of righteousness. This past age has been long and painful, but soon it will all be over. For the forces of good, I will conquer the chaos, and under my rule there shall be no tears.
My lord, the final battle with Cao Cao has arrived. While you were fighting at Bai Di Castle, I was at the Wuzhang Plains working on strategies against Wei. The enemy fears our spirit for this upcoming battle, and has done all they can to strengthen their defenses. We must keep our supply lines intact and use our provisions wisely in order to overrun the enemy position. If we can win this battle, we can realize our plans for a land ruled by virtue under my lord. This battle could be the one to bring an end to the chaos, so we must emerge victorious. We were able to emerge victorious from the battle with Wei. It would seem that Sima Yi was no match for me. Such a pitiful ending. It has been many years since Liu Bei's 3 visits, and my plan of forming one of 3 kingdoms. The world that I foresaw has finally arrived. The land from here on shall be one that is formed by the people.
It was during the final days of the year 200 AD when the Han Dynasty saw its end. Its demise ushered in a new era of chaos, brought on by several regional lords vying to rule China. There were those who sought absolute power, as well as those who fought for justice, and some simply fought for the sake of their beliefs. Many would rise and fall in their attempts to dominate the land. Liu Bei from the Zhuo region. He was an actual descendant of the Han imperial line. When Zhang Jiao started an uprising with his yellow turbans, Liu Bei sought to bring peace back to the land and restore the Han dynasty to its former glory. He destroyed the Yellow Turbans and toppled Dongzhuo's reign of terror with his sworn brothers Guan Yu and Zhang Fei. Unfortunately, Liu Bei possessed no territory for which he could establish his own kingdom and was forced to wander the land. However, his destiny changed very quickly after meeting the strategist Zhuge Liang. He followed the strategist accordingly and allied with Wu. The two forces destroyed Cao Cao, advanced into Yi, and captured Liu Zhang. Liu Bei was mobilizing his troops for the next battle when he received word that his sworn brother, Guan Yu, had been killed by Wu. Blinded with rage, Liu Bei prepared to avenge Guan Yu, despite his advisors begging him not to. Liu Bei's rage brought about many miraculous victories, which eventually led to the demise of Wu. The land was now divided between Shu and Wei, with the winner set to be decided at the Wujiang Plains. After a grueling battle, it was Liu Bei who emerged victorious. The long days of chaos had finally come to an end, and peace returned. It is said that Liu Bei was praised and honored by the people for generations to come. These tales, long forgotten in the flows of time, are about the legends of which no one can recall.
Ah, I thought I had to play the other two guys to unlock Zhuo Si, but I guess it's just playing through everyone else. Okay, that's cool.
Guan Yu, Zhang Fei. At last, our journey is finally over. Watch over us in this new age of peace.
And that is the end of Liu Bei's story.